In recent weeks, one thing has not gone unnoticed by the army around the world: Jungkook's different-looking eyes. Not ordinary physical fatigue, nor is it just a mood that comes and goes. There is a subtle silence that slips at every step, behind a smile that remains polite, behind a professional attitude that never collapses. Jungkook still performs flawlessly in the public eye, but for those who pay more attention, something has changed. The change did not come with an official statement. There was no clarification from the agency. No long uploads with explanations. It is precisely that silence that makes everything feel even heavier. Jungkook chose silence, and his silence spoke much louder than words. Some small moments become lighters for speculation. The way he looked down was a little longer before taking a step. A blank look for a moment before the camera panned his face. A smile that appeared late, as if it had to be called from somewhere deep inside him. For casual fans, all that may seem trivial. But for the army, which has followed Jungkook for years, the slightest change is obvious. Nearby sources mention that this phase is not about a single event, but rather the accumulation of many things that accumulate slowly. Jungkook, who has been known as the Golden Magne, grew up in the spotlight without a break. From the age of a teenager, his life is governed by schedules, expectations, and almost impossible standards. He is rarely given room to fail, much less to really stop and ask himself, "Am I okay or not?" Lately, that pressure has reached a different point. Not for lack of achievement, quite the opposite. When all the targets had been achieved, when Jungkook's name was already at a peak that many could only dream of, a silent question arose that often approached those who were at the highest point. After this, what else? And who is all this really for? There are also emotional factors that cannot be ignored. Jungkook's closeness with BTS members, especially Taehyung, has always been his place to lean on. But the dynamics of adult life, temporary separations, schedules that are no longer completely the same, make the spaces of togetherness narrow. It's not that their relationship is fractured. Quite the contrary. A strong bond often makes the distance feel more painful. Unspoken longing, self-harbored worries, and a desire to protect those closest to him from his own emotional burden. Some industry observers also highlighted a major transitional phase in Jungkook's life. He is no longer at the crossroads of adolescence and adulthood. He is now completely in adult territory, with all the consequences that come with it. Identity, direction in life, and the meaning of fame become questions that can no longer be avoided. Many artists go through this phase, but not all live it under the global spotlight like Jungkook. Interestingly, Jungkook did not vent his sadness explosively. No controversy, no distractive escapades. It chooses the most quiet way: to pout, to stare, and to walk slowly. Sadness is not a sign of weakness, but evidence that he is processing something big within himself. He is learning to be a human being, not just an idol. The army itself responded in a mature manner. Instead of demanding an explanation, many choose to make room. Hashtags of support sprang up, empathetic messages poured in, as if to say, "We see you. You're not alone." And maybe that's the one thing that eased Jungkook a little bit. The realization that he was loved not only for his talent, but also for his humanity. Jungkook's recent woes are not the end of the story. It could actually be an important chapter before something more honest and stronger is born. Many great artists go through phases of silence before discovering their new sound. Many sensitive souls need to step aside before returning to shine in a different way. If there's one thing to learn from Jungkook's transformation, it's that it's a reminder that behind the glitter of the stage and the cheers of millions of people, there's a human being who can also be tired, hesitant, and sad. And perhaps his greatest courage at this time was not to appear flawless, but to keep going even though his heart was heavy. Jungkook hasn't said anything directly, but from his silence, the world learned one important thing. Even the brightest star sometimes needs to dim for a moment. Not to disappear, but to return to find the most truthful light from within itself. Jungkook's recent silence also led to a deeper reflection on the price of fame. When a person grows up in front of the camera, every phase of his life seems to belong to the public. Feelings of longing, confusion, And even sadness that should be processed personally must be filtered out so as not to disturb the image. Jungkook understood the unwritten rules long ago. He knows when to smile, when to be quiet, and when to hold back. But man is not a machine. There comes a time when the heart asks for a pause. Some close people describe Jungkook as a very sensitive person. It easily absorbs the surrounding energy, excitement, anxiety, even imperceptible noise. When the environment around him changes, when the rhythm of life is no longer the same, his feelings shift. He doesn't complain, he doesn't blame the situation. He just carries it slowly in his own way. That is why the melancholy seems subtle, barely perceptible, yet feels real to those who know it. On several occasions, Jungkook was seen choosing solitude over crowds. Not because he was away, but because he was looking for honesty in himself. Many artists talk about the moment when they asked, "Who am I if the stage lights go out?" The question is not simple. The answer often requires the courage to look at the fragile side of yourself. Jungkook is now at that point, an inner crossroads that not everyone dares to cross. The ARMY picked up the signal with the same sensitivity. The support provided is not in the form of demands, but a symbolic hug from a distance. The encouraging messages, the words that allowed Jungkook to take a break, are proof that the relationship between idols and fans has grown beyond mere entertainment. There is empathy, there is understanding, there is a safe space that is created together. Jungkook's passing also opened a broader discussion about mental health in the entertainment industry, about how success often comes hand in hand with loneliness, about how noisy applause is not always able to drive away the quiet voice inside the head. Jungkook, without the need to speak out loud, seemed to remind the world that taking care of the soul is as important as maintaining performance. But behind all that, there is one thing that remains intact: Jungkook's sincerity in his work. Even when he looks sad, he does not lose his essence. He is still present, still trying, still giving his best in the way he can. And that is precisely where his strength lies. Not in polished perfection, but in slowly revealing honesty. Maybe one day Jungkook will tell me everything. Well, maybe not. And that's okay. Not all inner journeys have to be shared with the public. Most importantly, he didn't walk alone. There were 6 other members who understood his silence without needing many words. There were millions of soldiers waiting patiently, not to demand a smile, but to make sure that he was okay. In the end, Jungkook's recent woes are not a sign of a downfall, but rather a phase of maturation, a silent process that often precedes major change. And when he steps back in a new light, calmer, more honest, the world will probably see Jungkook not just as a star, but as a human being who has made peace with himself.